Here with Brett Taveau, a confession to make, Brett. The last book that I read was your book, Unpacking Greatness. It was over the summer. Do not read many books, but people go check it out. And do you feel better or worse about me by saying that, Brett?
That like makes my, coming from a legend like you, Jesse, that makes my year. I mean, that is, that's just unbelievable praise.
Yeah,
Thank you.
well, calling me a legend makes my year too. I've never heard that one in my name before. We're going to talk about the Chiefs win over the Titans, 20-17. The Chiefs shut down Derrick Henry in the second half, as we'll see on some plays like this. But how much credit goes to the coaching? How much credit goes to personnel? That's what we're going to go over. So we're going to go over two plays from the first half where the Chiefs did not shut down Derrick Henry in the running game for the Titans, and then two in the second half. Compare the two. Let's go ahead and get to breaking this thing down. The first one we're going to look at is this Derrick Henry long run from the first half.
Yeah, so this is an outside zone play to the right here. As you'll see, the Chiefs are in their 4-3 base, but I think they were matching the Titans personnel, which they're in 12 personnel here, two tights. They get a balanced formation. They got a receiver to each side here. And we've broken down outside zone here before where they're trying to capture the edge here. And Henry's going to read that defensive end, basically. And if he's got the edge, he's going to take it. Otherwise, he's going to stick his foot in the ground reading, as you got there, outside in. So the Titans, I mean, you got to give credit. They do a really good job. It's just, you'll have noted here, just getting a hat on a hat, the combos work. And then Chenal, who's responsible for the backside A-gap. Jesse, if you could go back to the beginning, you can kind of see the alignment here. Okay, you got a three technique here on the backside, which is on the outside eye of the left guard. And then Chenal's going to have to fit that A-gap right there. And that guard does a really good job of getting him cut.
Yeah, we'll see this as the play goes on. But again, if you get those two guys on the double team and then they get out to those linebackers, it can make for some trouble. And that's what the Titans do here. The Chiefs front line not able to stand up to that, and you have a big hole.
Yeah, and then as you just, as you've got noted as well, if you go back to the start of the play, you can see Thornhill's eyes. Like he's looking at this other receiver, and there's a corner here. On this receiver, I don't know if it's man coverage, cover four, whatever. You can see him looking, and he's not even in the picture yet. He should be fitting once he gets that run read from that tight end. And then, but he says he's late coming over. He takes a bad angle and he misses a tackle. And what you have is what should have been a 9-yard run turns into 45 or whatever it is.
All right, let's go ahead and get to Malik Willis at a long run too in this first half. So some more problems for the Chiefs, and they start here in the nickel. So 4-2-5.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what personnel. I'm guessing the Titans are in 11 personnel now. Now they got 3 wide receivers and 1 tight end, so the Chiefs naturally match with the nickel personnel. And the Titans are going to run inside zone away from the tight end, which is more of a downhill play, which doesn't go for horizontal displacement. You're trying to get vertical displacement. The combos are you're trying to push vertical with your double teams. And as you got there, he's going to read the backside. He's out of the gun now instead of under center, so he's able to read that backside space. He sees Karlaftis go inside. So now who's the quarterback player? It's either got to be Willie Gay, if they do a gap exchange, or it's got to be Justin Reed here. And it's going to be Reed here, as we're going to see. So he's the D-gap run defender right there, and you'll see the angle he takes.
Yeah,
his eyes are in. Go ahead.
His eyes are inside. Yeah, exactly.
So his eyes are inside, looking to fit, and he just gets to the quarterback late, and he's unable to make a play. Fortunately, this corner's able to get off the block, and Bolton's able to run him down before it got to be more than a 15 to 20-yard gain.
Okay, so far we've seen a couple things. We've seen defensive tackles for the Chiefs get displaced. We've seen a bad run fit on the backside and able to take advantage of that. And we've also seen the 4 down front. So let's look at what the Chiefs did. This is the first play of the second half. So we talk about halftime adjustments all the time. Let's see what the Chiefs did in this first play.
Yeah, so this is a bear front here, which is going to be a head up nose, which is head up on the center, 2-3 techniques, which are outside eye of the guard. And then Willie Gay here walked up as a D end. And so it's basically a 5-man front. So what this is going to do is we're going to see is it's going to make it difficult to have those double teams, Jesse, that you noted in the first both, I think, the first and second, where Tennessee got clean double teams on the line of scrimmage and were able to displace. You're only going to get one double team here. They're going to run inside zone left, which is inside zone bluff, as you have noted, where this tight end number 87 is going to act like he's going to what's called split block, which is kick out Willie Gay. And then he's going to hope that they squeeze, and then the quarterback pulls and gets a lead blocker. But Gay does a really good job of staying square here. And so, yeah, this bear front, as I said, you only got one combo here, and that's on the backside right here, which is the backside 3 technique. And then everybody else is one-on-one across the board, which is good for the Chiefs. And Noddy does a really good job anchoring on that line of scrimmage, making it to where it's not a very clean read. And Gay, he stays square. That's the key here. If he turns his shoulders and runs towards the inside, then Willis is going to pull the ball, and they're going to have that tight end escorting out, and that's going to be bad news for the Chiefs. But Gay, he steps down and what's called surfs this here. He surfs it, stays square to force a give read, and Noddy knocks it back, and then Gay's able to fall back in and make the play.
Yeah, so again, a little bit of scheming up to go to this bear front, which is pretty rare for the Chiefs to do. But again, it helps the Chiefs not have the double teams on the inside, and then Gay being disciplined. It helps them. So again, Noddy is able to stand up to his blocks, Gay able to hold his ground, and he's able to, as you said, surf to the tackle here, stop Derrick Henry for a short gain. And the final one here, we'll also go to overtime. Again, this is when the game's going to be won. This is the first play of overtime, and we see something a little bit different with the Chiefs. Let's really quickly go over what an underfront is and what the Chiefs are doing here.
Yeah, so an underfront, and it's what's to the strength. And right now Tennessee the Chiefs end up playing this to the field, even though Tennessee has a 4-man surface on the backside. The Chiefs play their underfront to the field, which is a 2-eye, which is on the inside. You can barely see him in front of Bolton there, but you got him highlighted on the inside eye of the guard. And then you got Dunlap in a 5 technique, which is the outside eye of the tackle. And then you've got Gay in a wide 9. Looking to really set a hard edge versus the Titans outside zone game, which we'll see. And then Justin Reed's down as a C-gap defender right there. So that is a lot of bodies. There are 9 bodies right there, as you can see, if you count Thornhill in that area within 9 yards of the line of scrimmage. So they're going to make it tough for Tennessee to run here on this big run down. Everybody in the stadium knew they would run the ball here.
Well, and a lot of pressure on your defensive backs, and the Chiefs' defensive backs held up to that. A lot of man coverage behind when you're going to be doing this sort of thing. So let's take a look at this run. And as we talked about, Derrick reads outside to in, but it's a lot tougher to do that with what the Chiefs are throwing at him right here.
Yeah, those guys that, they take in as much information pre-snap as possible. He knows, he sees Gay out there in that wide 9 technique. He knows he's going to set that edge. There's no way that tight end's going to be able to reach him. So he basically just kind of, his eyes are on the inside. He's reading the next guy in here.
And let's talk about personnel too, because we can talk a lot of scheme if we want to, but what Colin Saunders does here, if you're able to be this good on a down, then you're probably going to win the down no matter who's in front of you.
Yeah, and a lot of those guys that watch it, Jesse, that watch a lot more film than you and I, said he just had an incredible game. It's so hard to see from the TV copy. You got to get into the end zone, because even those guys, when they're making great plays, they may not slope in the stat sheet, so to speak. But this swim move he puts on the center, I mean, just makes him look silly. So he swims.
Yeah, it takes everybody, though. Reed has to force him back inside, and that's what he does.
Yeah, if Reed's not there to fit the C-gap, then that's a C-gap run right there. As you can see, they've got, Gay is based out, and they've got a decent combo there on Dunlap. So Reed's down, fitting the C-gap, and then, as you said, it bends him back in the A-gap, and Saunders is able to win.
Right over the top of the tackle, who's down beneath him. So a big win from Saunders in that one. And again, the scheme allowing the Chiefs to get a lot of bodies toward the line of scrimmage and make things a little bit easier on the guys that struggled in the first half.
Yeah, and getting them into 2nd and 9, they got them. I think they ended the game with 3 straight passes. So they knew at that point that the Chiefs were not going to let them establish anything on the ground. And as you said, it's both scheme and personnel.
Yeah, I was just going to say, to summarize this, if you're going to divvy up credit, I know, Brett, you're a longtime offensive coordinator in high school. We talk about halftime adjustments. We talk about what the Chiefs did with that. And then we can also talk about the Jimmies and the Joes. From looking at these plays, I guess, how much of this would you attribute to them shutting down Henry go to the players, and how much to the coaching adjustments that we saw in the second half?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to, put a number on it, quantify it, so to speak. But I think both of them made a difference, particularly when you look at that bear front, when Tennessee is, such a good zone running team, both inside and outside, to be able to get in that bear front, to eliminate those combos, to help your guys get one-on-ones. But at the end of the day, I mean, it comes down to two things. It comes down to defeating blocks. I mean, you got to shed blocks. I guess three things. You got to fit properly. You can't get out of fit, and you got to tackle when it's there. And the Chiefs did all three things in the second half.
Very interesting, too. I heard an interview with Justin Reed after the game, and we saw him early in this doing not so well. We saw him late doing well, and he talked about everybody on the defense doing their 111th. And that was what was better in the second half. Not only the coaches putting guys in better positions, but a guy like Justin Reed, we saw him fit poorly, and then we saw him fit very well. When he fit well, it helped the defense, and they made a play. When he didn't do as well, obviously things went a little bit awry for the Chiefs in this particular game. That's going to wrap it up for the details. For Brett, this is Jesse. Appreciate you joining us, Brett, and appreciate you guys watching. Check us out again next week for another episode of The Details.